Hey guys, Moro here, and with me today is a very special guest, Jordan Mechner, creator of the Prince of Persia video game. Hey Jordan.
Hey, happy to be here.
So he decided to come in to help us with a very special edition of Rewind Theater. We've never had anybody involved with the production before come in and record a commentary with us, so this is really cool. Thanks for coming.
Oh, cool. I'm looking forward to it.
So Jordan, I'm really psyched to be sitting here with you watching the trailer, going through frame by frame, because there's just so many cool visuals in it. It's going to be great to get your feedback and your take on this stuff.
I'm actually excited to see it frame by frame too, because seeing it on the big screen, it goes by so fast.
Yeah. Well, let's go and kind of stop on our first moment here, and I'm going to make it this scene right here, our shot of our hero shot. And that's Jake Gyllenhaal. Boom.
That's Jake Gyllenhaal as Prince Dastan, who is, of course, the Prince of Persia.
And what's cool is this just gives us a quick shot of how buffed up he got for the role, but also the action that we're going to see him undertake in the film. I'm also going to go back to another really cool moment that we see right at the beginning, and that's the actual dagger itself.
The Dagger of Time.
Yeah, and we've got another really cool shot of it up here, too, right here. So tell me a little bit about the first time you saw the actual physical prop here.
Yeah, well, obviously I was really familiar with the Dagger of Time, like from the PlayStation 2 version, but it was one of the really cool moments for me was meeting Jake in character, in costume, on set, and seeing that he had this Dagger of Time in his belt. So I was like, "Excuse me, is that?" He's like, "Yeah, you want to hold it?" So actually holding the physical dagger, in my hand and feeling like how heavy it was and how well made, it was really cool.
And did it work? Did it actually turn back time when you pressed the jewel?
Oh yeah, I tried it out a few times. It totally works.
All right, well, let's go back to this moment, which is, boom, the first time we see it, the dagger itself work in the trailer.
Yeah, there's the first time that Dastan really discovers that this dagger can turn back time if you press the jewel on its handle.
What it just visually looks awesome, and it must have been a nightmare for the visual effects guys to do because of all the sand. How much input did you have into the actual look of what this effect should play out like?
In shooting the movie, we didn't really know yet what the rewind would look like, but we knew we wanted to go far beyond what the rewind was in the game, which was obviously to the limits of what the PlayStation 2 could do.
Right.
But really, Jerry and Mike Newell, and the visual effects guys have kind of like been adding to this, adding layers, so it just keeps getting better and better. This actually is not final.
I can't believe that. It looks so cool already.
Yeah. Well, you can see, some of the layers. There's this sand effect of the sand is kind of flowing through the prince's arm into his body. And another thing, I'm not sure if you can see it here. There's kind of a ghost image of Dastan standing outside of the action. So as the action is rewinding, he's kind of watching himself
go
back
through
in
it.
time. Yes, and that was sort of meant to convey to the audience that the person who holds the dagger, who turns back time, is actually aware of what's happening, and so knows what this alternative future was that they're avoiding, whereas everybody else has no idea.
I'm only gonna. I don't want to stop on this moment too long, but I am gonna stop right here because it looks like he's about to be stabbed in the head by a ginormous sword.
Exactly. That's what he avoids by pressing. Yeah.
And that looks like Gemma who's gonna do it. Is that true? And if it is, why is she gonna do that?
It does look like Gemma, doesn't it? I can't confirm or deny. You just have to see the movie.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's look at some more actors participating in the film, and we've got right here
Alfred Molina as Sheikh Omar. He's a great character. He's that sort of colorful character that you always have in a action adventure epic. Where he sort of brings comic relief and his own sort of skewed perspective every time he's on screen.
Yeah.
It's fun. And for me, of course, it's really cool that it's Alfred Molina because remember Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first 10 minutes?
Yep.
Well, that was the sequence that really inspired me to make the first Prince of Persia game back in the 80s. Pretty much all the Prince's movements, jumping over a pit, grabbing onto the edge, pulling himself up, the spikes springing out, the gate closing, all come from that opening sequence of Raiders. And do you remember who the guide was?
It was, yeah, Alfred Molina, yeah. And it's funny because I didn't remember that until you just forced me to think about it.
Throw me the idol, I throw you the whip.
That's right. Well, let's scrub back to this moment right here, and I'm going to try and freeze on it right there. I don't know why I'm geeking out over this whip, but it just looks so cool. And to me, it looks reminiscent of something from the later games.
Yeah, it's got a kind of a warrior within feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it just goes to show us some of the really cool weaponry we're going to see in the film. I'm actually going to scrub forward to another really cool moment right here. Boom, look at those weapons.
Yeah, now these enemies are Hassansins, and they're not actually in any of the games. There you see all of them, riding together. Each one of them has their own characteristic weapons. One uses fire, another one uses snakes, another one uses blades.
Oh, okay, cool.